In this video, we'll learn how to create monogram logos in Inkscape using grids and shapes. To start, I'll grab the Star and Polygon tool, and I want to create a 6-cornered polygon, so I'll switch to polygon mode here and change corners to 6. Now I'll click and drag in the canvas, and I'll hold down Ctrl to snap the rotation angle and make it so the points face up and down. I'll turn off the polygon's fill color by clicking the red X down here, and I'll give it a black stroke by holding down Shift and clicking the black color swatch. And I want the stroke width to be pretty thin, which will make it easier to see the grid. So I'll right click the stroke width here and choose something like 0.5 millimeter. Alright, next I'll grab the pen tool, and I'll click over here for the first point, then I'll hold down Ctrl to keep the line vertical, and I want it to be longer than the height of the polygon, so I'll click somewhere down here, then I'll right click to finish creating the line. Okay, now I'm going to turn on snapping up here, then I'll grab the selector tool and move the line until its midpoint snaps to the midpoint of the polygon's left side. Next I'll duplicate the line by right clicking it and choosing duplicate. Then I'll snap this one to the right side of the polygon. Alright, now I want to create 10 more lines between these two, and I want them to be spaced out evenly across the width of the polygon. An easy way to do this is to select one line, hold Shift and select the other line as well, and combine them into a single path by going up to the Path menu and choosing Combine. Now I'll open up the Path Effects dialog by going back to the Path menu and choosing Path Effects. And in the search box here, I'll start searching for Interpolate, then I'll choose Interpolate Subpaths. And now if I change steps here to 12 and press Enter, it gives me a total of 12 lines from start to end. Alright, now I've finalized the path effect by going to Path, Object to Path. I'm now going to grab the polygon and move it out of the way for now. Then I'll duplicate the line path and click one of these two buttons up here to rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, I'll duplicate again, and I'll click the path to show its rotation handles. Then I'll grab a rotation handle, and while holding down the Alt key to snap the angle, I'll rotate it counterclockwise 30 degrees. This will make the lines have the same angle as the size of the polygon. And I want to do the same in this direction, so I'll duplicate one more time, then click this Object Flip Horizontal button. Okay, now I'll select the polygon, and I'm going to click on this button up here to raise it above everything else. I'm also going to make the stroke a different color like red. And now I'll snap it back in place on the grid. And I'm actually going to hold down Ctrl and move the polygon up until it snaps to the topmost horizontal line. This is because I'm planning to make the top of the logo completely flat. Alright, now I'm going to use the polygon to cut the grid so I can remove the parts that are outside of the polygon. To do this, I'll select everything, then go to Path, Fracture. And now I want to remove all of the black pieces, leaving just the red pieces. To do this, I'll first deselect everything, then I'll select all of the red pieces by right-clicking one, going to Select Same, and choosing Stroke Color. Next, I'll invert the selection by going up to the Edit menu and choosing Invert Selection. This leaves me with just the black pieces selected, so now I can press Delete to get rid of them. Okay, and now I'll combine all of the red pieces into a single path by selecting them all and going to Path, Combine. Alright, the grid is finished, so now I can start working on the logo. For this, I'll use the Shape Builder tool here. My logo is going to have 3 letters, and because there are a total of 11 columns of blocks across the grid, I'll make it so each letter spans 3 columns, leaving an empty column between them. Alright, I'm going to start with a letter at the center, which will be a C. So I'll start creating a C shape by clicking and dragging to combine the segments of the 3 center blocks. And I might have to zoom in a bit to get these smaller segments. Alright, now I'll continue down towards the bottom of the grid. And for the left side, I'll draw an S. Finally, for the right side, I'll draw a D shape. Alright, once I'm done drawing the shapes, I'll come up here and click this checkmark button. And now I have just the 3-letter shapes that I created. I can give them a fill color, and I can turn off the stroke by holding Shift and clicking the red X. Next, I want to thicken up the letters a bit. To do this, I'll first combine the letters into a single path. Then I'll go to the Path Effects dialog and add the Offset Path Effect to it. Now I'll grab the Node tool, and using this orange circular handle, I'll offset the letters. Okay, now I'll finalize that by going to Path, Object to Path, and to separate the letters again, I'll go to Path, Split Path. Alright, and with a little imagination, we can apply the same techniques to a variety of shapes.